Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today. This is the brand new BMW 3.0 CSL Homage R. Now you probably remember the 3.0 CSL concept machine that we showed off several months ago. This is the brand new race car version of that particular concept. Got a brand new livery showing off the BMW colors, not to mention a lot of aero work, and it's a pretty cool piece of kit. It was shown off at the Pebble Beach Concours at Elegance over this past weekend. Now this vehicle, pretty much like the concept car that we shown before, is very little chance of it seeing the light of day, so as far as production style is. And if that makes you a little sad, here's something that may make you feel a little bit better from Bavarian Motorworks, the brand new BMW M4 GTS. Again, this car was shown off in Pebble Beach as well. If you know the GTS lineup, you'll know that this means it's going to be somewhat of a track day car, meaning it's got a brand new front splitter, massive rear wing. The whole car goes on somewhat of a diet, including lightweight wheels with super sticky rubber on all four corners. Now, BMW hasn't given a release date, pricing, what the car weighs, or even what power is, but the standard M4 makes a 425 brake horsepower and 406 pounds-feet of torque out of a turbocharged 3-liter inline 6-cylinder. So we're assuming this vehicle is going to get the same power, but probably bumped up a tad bit, maybe somewhere around 450. If we find out pricing or availability details, we'll keep you in tune. Next up on the list, the folks over McLaren released a brand new variant again. The muddied water that is McLaren's group is becoming ever increasingly complicated. It kind of reminds me of the Porsche lineup nowadays as far as the 911 is concerned. There's so many different variants of this particular car. And they've gotten a lot of mileage out of that 12C, out of all these variants being based off of that, and I know that probably makes a tad of you very upset with me, but really, honestly, that carbon monocoque has been used in every McLaren road car since the 12C's invention. Now, as far as this vehicle, this is the 570S, but there's going to be a new version of it called the 570S GT. GT standing for Grand Touring. Now, this McLaren's always been one of the most comfortable supercars to ever lay its wheels on the road. Big time thanks to that hydraulically electric assist sway bar setup on the front and rear, which really lets the sway bar work independently of itself on all four corners, really making this a very, very comfortable machine. But the new GT version gets a lot of creature comforts on the interior of the machine to make it a lot more comfortable to eat up those miles going down the road, and a little bit on the fun side too, as it comes with a panoramic all glass roof inside of the machine as well. They haven't released pricing, availability, or anything else about this machine as of yet. The only thing we do know, it will have the 3.8 liter twin turbocharged V8, making just a touch under 570 brake horsepower. But we'll give you a whole lot more information when this car becomes a little bit more official. Next up on the list, another vehicle shown off at Pebble Beach was this particular machine. Yes, if you wanted a Lamborghini SuperVeloce, the highest performing Lamborghini Aventador actually in production now, but you still want a little open top fun, yeah, guess what? Lamborghini's got your back. Only 500 of these are going to be built. Now, don't know availability, don't know pricing, much like a lot of the other vehicles we talked about today, but it will have the 6.5 liter normally aspirated V12, making 740 brake horsepower. 0 to 60 comes in at 2.8 seconds, and this vehicle, supposedly, even with the top off, is still going to be able to reach over 200 miles an hour, which is a lot of speed with no roof over yet. So, another weird little story. It's kind of a sad story. The folks over at Honda and Acura let out a little statement over the past several days that apparently the brand new NSX is going to be delayed by 6 months. Now, Honda hasn't released exactly what the problem is or when the new official date's going to be, but we'll keep you in tune if we hear any more about this deal. Next up on the list, well, we haven't talked about the Pope in a while, so let's talk about the Pope. Yeah, I know, we've really never talked about the Pope. And this is actually 2 popes ago. This is Pope John Paul II. And an odd little side story, I did throw my hat into the ring when Pope Benedict actually stepped down from being the Pope. And right before Pope Francis came to be, Well, having throwing my hat in the ring basically means that I put the header on my Facebook and Twitter account. Both says that I was running for Pope and I was going to bring sexy back to the Vatican. Yeah, I know. A little bit stupid. I had a bunch of weirdo stuff. I had a lot of fun with it. You know, I was going to be a new Pope mobile. I was going to have a sidekick. And yeah, I know it's going to be a little bit wonky, but I had a good time with it. That being said, I didn't know how close I could have been Pope after doing some work for a priest in a local adjacent town who told me there was only 3 criteria for coming Pope. One was I had to be over 35. Check that. Number 2, I had to be Catholic. Check that too. And number 3, I had to be a man, which I'm pretty much a boy in a man's body, probably, or kind of a man's body. So it's fuzzy area, but I guess check there too. So, but I sure did have a lot of fun. Now back to Pope John Paul. I bet that you didn't know that this particular Pope was a Ferrari owner. Yes, apparently back in 2002 when Ferrari was building the brand new Enzo at the time. They built 399 for the world, but they built a 400th that was given to the Pope. Again, Maranello just down the road from Rome and Vatican City, and Ferrari being somewhat of a Catholic-style company, especially they've done a lot of stuff around the Pope, especially around Pope John Paul, and apparently he got a brand new Enzo. No real word if Pope John Paul actually made some laps in this car or did anything of the sort, but apparently only had it for a couple of years and actually sold it at auction with all the proceeds going to relief efforts for a tsunami that hit on Boxing Day in 2004 in Southeast Asia. Now, as far as the car is concerned, it went up for auction over the past several days. Again, I had no idea the Pope had a Ferrari, but with that beautiful little backstory, at least not that much beautiful with the tsunami issue, but when the Pope actually owned it, it did sell for $6.05 million at auction. And obviously somebody's a brand new Enzo, and somewhat of a cool story as far as that's concerned as well. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.